how much of this is, because your database is clearly massive, and there'll be, we have a lot of enterprise salespeople and sales leaders listening to this, so they might have comparable databases. There's going to be a lot of small, medium-sized organizations that are going, holy shit, if I had a third of that, I could just sit on the phone all day and hit my own targets internally. So how do you go about, again, without talking about specifics, that's fine, but do you use a lot of automation to ping up, for example, your anecdote there of this individual is a CSO of a large organization who's looking for training, just happened to buy this book, and so we've got to align in with them. Do you use automation for this, or do you just have a massive team of individuals who are trained well enough to pick on some of the signals themselves?
I wish I could say that we had like the most well-defined, well-oiled process that seamlessly moves people exactly into the bucket they need to be in, but we don't. And that's why we have to have another team that comes through and bats cleanup for us.
And do they contact everyone, Jarrod, or
literally? I'm like, I want everybody in our database to receive a phone call. If we have a phone number for them and they've spent $1 with us, I want them to get a phone call from us. You may not get to them all this week, this month, this year, but the goal of that area is that every person who's spent $1 with us gets a phone call. And I think that's how we can, email open rates, 10, 12%, whatever, depending on how targeted the list is or whatever. But I mean, it's just not what it used to be. So, but that doesn't mean that there's not opportunity there. That doesn't mean that you can't turn a $25 book sale into a $100,000 transaction. But it just means that you're going to have to work a little bit differently to get in front of them. And so we weren't willing to sit back anymore and let people hang out on our list simply because they weren't opening emails. And so we're going to build a team, and the team's probably going to end up being 30 or 40 people. And that the purpose of that is to squeeze every last bit of juice out of the 1.9 million records that we have on file.
So you talked earlier about this idea of a yin and yang, and this is used often in investments. You have some super really crazy risky investments, and you have some super safe investments. Most people are playing in the middle, and they don't win. You win one way or the other. Are you treating your kind of prospecting machine like that, in that you're using a lot of, clearly Grant and yourself are incredible marketers, you're amazing at getting attention, and then, and this isn't a slight, but it's slightly more old school, to just have a team of individuals, or I guess warm, semi-cold calling people who are on a list. That's a massive way to differentiate yourself in the market, because I don't know anyone else who's doing that at scale.
Well,
anyway.
I mean, the traditional, like the new norm is cold emails, big list, find out who's interested, and then only call those people.
Yep.
But if we did that, we'd leave money on the table, and we're not willing to do that. We have the resources, we have the team. And again, it may not be the most efficient, but I want all the business. I don't want some of the business. And so when you make a commitment like that we want our programs being consumed by 7 billion people on every continent in the world, and we make decisions in the organization based off of that. And so if that means that we have to build a team of 40 people to call low probability sales calls, we have the depth of product to know that if we monetize somebody, then we will do it again and again and again and ascend them through to the point where we'll maximize the revenue of the customer. And for us, again, we're in a position, we're of the mindset that if a customer has spent $1 with us, they'll spend another one. And just because they don't answer an email, or they don't click an ad on Facebook or Instagram, or ad on YouTube or wherever, we spend 7 figures a month advertising. I mean, we still promote our business. But when you use every resource, when you use all roads, then I believe that's how we've been able to have the success that we've had.